You ever feel like you're surrounded by people who just don't get it? People who act without thinking, who make the same mistakes over and over, and somehow, they never learn? It's frustrating, right? It's like you're watching them, seeing their every move, and all you can do is ask yourself, how can they not see what's so obvious? And the worst part is, sometimes we get caught in their web too. We get tangled in their thinking, or worse, we start doubting our own. You begin to wonder if you're the crazy one for seeing things differently. But what if I told you there's a way to step back, to see clearly, and avoid making the same mistakes that some people just can't seem to avoid? What if I told you the ancient wisdom of Stoicism could help you spot the signs of someone who's living in ignorance, maybe even prevent yourself from falling into the same trap? What if you could recognize the 6 signs of a stupid person and make sure you're not one of them? Keep watching, because these 6 signs will challenge your perception of what you thought you knew about intelligence and wisdom, and maybe even yourself. So, let's get into it. The first sign of someone who's, let's say, not the sharpest tool in the shed. Sign 1. The need for external validation. You know the type. They constantly seek approval. They look for likes, retweets, constant praise from others. They can't make a decision without checking what everyone else thinks first. It's exhausting, isn't it? But think about it. Stoicism teaches us that true wisdom doesn't come from others. It comes from within. A Stoic doesn't need external validation because they are secure in their own reasoning. They trust their judgment, and they understand that external opinions don't dictate their self-worth. When someone needs constant validation, it's a sign they're not living with clarity. They're too dependent on others to feel whole. Sign 2. The refusal to learn from mistakes. Have you ever watched someone make the same mistake over and over? You tell them, you warn them, but they never learn. It's like they've built this invisible wall around their mind, and they won't let anything in. The Stoic, on the other hand, embraces mistakes. They don't view failure as a defeat, but as an opportunity to grow. They understand that every failure is a lesson, something to be studied, not ignored. When you refuse to learn from your mistakes, you're stuck in a loop, a prisoner to your own ego. You'll never grow, and you'll never break free. Sign 3. Blaming others for their problems. Oh, this one, it's a classic. The person who can't take responsibility for their life. Every setback, every issue, it's always someone else's fault. They're never accountable. They point fingers, they play the victim, and they build this narrative that the world is out to get them. But here's the hard truth. The Stoic knows that the only thing they can control is their own actions. Life is full of challenges, yes, but it's how we respond that matters. Blaming others is a sign of someone who is powerless in their own mind. A wise person takes ownership of their circumstances and their choices. They don't waste time blaming because they know the only person who can change their life is them. Sign 4. Constantly chasing pleasure and avoiding pain. Think about the people you know who always seem to be in search of the next high. Whether it's chasing the next big thing, running after temporary pleasures, or avoiding discomfort at all costs. They don't seem to understand that life isn't about constant enjoyment. Stoicism teaches that true happiness isn't about avoiding pain or seeking endless pleasure. It's about cultivating resilience and inner peace. The Stoic understands that life is a mix of highs and lows, and they learn to find contentment in both. When someone is constantly chasing pleasure, they are living in a state of ignorance. They fail to see that true joy lies in acceptance, in finding peace with what is. They're running away from the very thing that could set them free. Sign 5. Living in the past or future, never the present. This one is subtle, but powerful. You ever meet someone who's always talking about the good old days? Or they're always worried about what's coming next? They're never truly present with you, always caught up in what was or what might be. The Stoic lives in the present. They understand that the past is gone, the future is uncertain, and the only time that truly matters is now. They focus on the task at hand, on the moment they are living in. They don't get trapped in nostalgia or fear of the future because they know that the present is where their power lies. When someone is constantly obsessed with what was or what will be, they're blind to the opportunities right in front of them. They miss out on life. Sign 6. Fear of criticism and refusal to change. This one hits close to home, doesn't it? Fear of criticism can be paralyzing. There are people who avoid any form of change because they're terrified of what others will think. They cling to their outdated ways, their old beliefs, because the idea of being judged is too much to bear. But the Stoic, they embrace criticism as a tool for growth. They understand that change is inevitable and necessary for progress. The Stoic is constantly evolving, constantly questioning their beliefs, and open to constructive feedback. When you refuse to change, to adapt, or to improve, you're stuck in ignorance, and you'll never move forward. So, I know what you're probably thinking right now. Maybe you see one of these signs in yourself. Maybe you're recognizing moments in your life when you've acted out of ignorance, fear, or blind pride. It's okay. We've all been there. And the fact that you're even thinking about it means you're on the path to something better. The Stoics didn't become wise by pretending they had all the answers. They became wise because they constantly questioned themselves. They reflected on their actions, and they learned from their mistakes. And now you have the opportunity to do the same. So let me leave you with this. When you start to notice these signs in yourself or others, don't get discouraged. See them for what they are, moments of opportunity for growth, for change, for betterment. And remember this, wisdom doesn't come overnight. It's a journey. But with awareness, with reflection, and with the courage to look at yourself honestly, you can avoid the trap of ignorance and start living a life of true wisdom. If you've gained something from this video, whether it was a wake-up call or just a reminder of the power of self-awareness, then do yourself a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Because the world doesn't need more people stuck in ignorance. It needs more people willing to grow, to evolve, and to become better versions of themselves. Don't wait for tomorrow. Start today.